Hello again, it's me, GTR. Welcome to another video from Magic the Gathering Indonesia. Today is deck tech day. I know there are already many versions of the Merfolk tribal deck, but this is my take on them, so let's brew some crew. Today, we're gonna talk about the Merfolk deck, the UG Merfolk. The goal of the deck is to go wide, put counters on them while drawing a ton of cards in the process. For that to happen, we'll be playing around 30-ish creature. And yes, we're gonna engulf our opponent like piranha swarming their prey. Okay, now moving on to the list. First up, the creatures. One mana cost creature, we're gonna play 7 of them. First one is the Kumena Speaker, 1 green, 1/1 body. That could be a 2/2 body if you have another island or another Merfolk. This is a crucial one drop. Could be played early or later as an energy card to activate other Merfolk's triggered abilities. Then we're gonna play a playset of it. We're gonna play 4 of them. Next is the Miss Cloak Herald, aka MC Herald, as Dev would call her. It is a 1/1 body, but it is unblockable, or the terms nowadays cannot be blocked. This is a very important creature because it is like an ongoing bleeding for the opponent life total. This is our damage reassurance. We're going to play only 3 of it. Now moving on to the 2 mana creatures. This is where the engine of our deck lies. There are a total of 16 2-drops. I know it might be a lot, but believe me, we're gonna need all of the 2-drops possible. Almost all of pro players and the top brewer would say the same. At least there are 12. There are at least 12 drops that always stays on the Merfolk list. The first 2-drop is Deep-Root Elite. His ability to put 1/1 counter on any target creature when another Merfolk comes to play is insane. You can put it on himself, you can put it on another Merfolk, or maybe you can put it on the MC Herald. Just to worsen the bleeding. 2 damage cannot be blocked. Every turn is massive. This is the playmaker in our deck. We're gonna play full playset of it, 4 of them. The next one is Metallic Mimic. Yeah, I know maybe some of you thinking that we're not gonna need Mimic in our Merfolk deck, but I believe Mimic still has its place on the Merfolk deck. Not only it gives +1/+1 counter on your Merfolk, but also it gives a diversion. Any opponent who see Mimic on the play will be wanting to remove her or him ASAP. So it's a very good diversion. While the opponent focus on Mimic, we can spread our wings to broaden our board with the Merfolk. Yeah, even though Merfolk don't have wings, aren't they? The next one is Silvergill Adept. This is one of our advantage card. This is how we draw card. This is our drawer, you might say that. And you know what happened when ETB abilities of drawing card is attached to a creature? It gets so good. Rock Refiner doesn't get banned only because he produces energy, but also because it's drawing card ATB. So we're gonna play 4 of them, of course. And one thing is, if you draw him at the later game, maybe I don't think you mind playing 5 mana for a creature and drawing card. So it's a win-win condition. The last 2-drop is the Merfolk Queen, or the name of the card is the Merfolk Mistbinder. I call it Queen because she has the abilities like Lord, which gives +1 status up to all of our other Merfolk, yet without the legendary attribute. She plays a critical role and could be our winning card. If you play it on the curve on turn 2, it is good, but you can play it later in the game, it gets better. Let's say you play it on the turn 5 or turn 6 when you have already have a whiteboard, you could play it 1, or if you have 2, you can put 2 on the battlefield just to shaken your enemy defense, the enemy is expecting a several amount of damage he or she already count, and when you put Miss Binder on the play, boom, the mat is all going crazy, and yeah, this is could be our winning card. I have tested this deck like maybe about 20 games with different four different meta game, and one of the one of the things that I noticed that I overly play Miss Binder as a closer, as a finisher in the game. Okay, now moving on to the three drops. The first three drops is the Jungle Bone Pioneer. He is a 2-2 body, but with the ETB bringing 1/1/1 Hexproof Merfolk into play. This is important. Not only you get two bodies, yeah, you'd say, but also you get two activation either from Deep Root Elite or Mimic. So we're gonna need this card. It broaden our board so easily, but we're gonna only play three of them because we need some space for other Merfolk creatures. The next is the one and lonely Kumena, Tyrant of Oraska, or Krasa, or I don't know how to spell it correctly. This is our centerpiece of the deck. We built this deck around this guy. He seems to be like a hero, something like that. He's a legendary, of course. He has 2/4 body, and 3 mana cost, which the 4 toughness almost escapes premium spot removal like Fatal Push, Abrade, Lightning Strike. Maybe it didn't escapes anything that deals 4 damage, like maybe Hardened Lightning with an extra energy, cut, something like that, and so on and so forth. And he has several abilities. The first one is he cannot be blocked, he could be unblockable. And the second one is the most potent one. You get tap 3 Merfolk to draw a card. When you do that, tap 3 creatures to draw a card. In the previous meta, when the zombie is still in the play, it is so good. And then the last ability is tap 5 Merfolk you control to put +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk you control. Just freaking insane. This is just insane. You can have 5 Merfolk on the board, wait your opponent to attack, block, and use the ability to just strengthen your creatures. The thing is, you need to sequence it very carefully. If you want to cast it on curve, it means on turn 3, then you have to make sure that you already have 2 other Merfolks, so you can still gain some advantage of it. You can draw a card with it. Otherwise, do not ever play Kumena with only one Merfolk in play. Otherwise, it will be an easy target unless you get something to defense. But I don't think that's a really good play. So we're gonna use 4 of them, even though he's legendary, because we need to draw him as soon as possible. And the last piece, the last trade up, might be the one that differs my take on the Merfolk. I'm gonna use 1 copy of Ronus the Indomitable, the green god from Amonkhet. You maybe you're thinking why, and here's why. He is our support for attack and also our defender. We are not gonna play him the conventional way, to activate him and then attack. No, most of the time we're gonna use only his +2/+0 tramples ability as a primary function. This is to make sure the damage are going through. Activating Ronus, even though it's not difficult with if you have so many creatures, so many counters, but I primarily use Ronus only to use his abilities to make sure that damage could go through. Or if I want to activate the ability to activate Ronus, I will probably do it as a defender, to block some crazy creatures, to block some ducks, to block some humongous, ridiculous toughness dinosaur, something like that. So we're just gonna play one of it. And moving on to the 4 drops, we have Tempest Color. 2 generic blue and comes into play with ETB of tapping all your opponent creatures. This is really our finisher. This is the real tempo card. You build your kingdom of Atlantis and then boom, you put uh, Tempest Color in, and all sudden there's a free way of damage coming through to your opponent's face. It's like that. Just do not play it until you make sure it doesn't get countered, and you make sure that the enemy didn't have like mass removal attacking, like Settle Breakage, or a couple of spot removal that could kill your Merfolk. The next is the sorceries and instants. We're gonna play Spell Pierce and Unsummon. We're gonna play you're gonna play 2 Spell Pierce and 3 Unsummon. Spell Pierce, we're gonna use it to counter any spell that might target or might wipe our board, and we need the 1 mana because I think we need the efficiency. We need to be able to be playing double spell, casting our creature, and then have the defense of the Spell Pierce or have the defense of Unsummon. I know maybe some of you prefer Blossoming Defense or Dive Down. Why not? But believe me, Unsummon is better because it gives you tempo. You can use it for opponent creature or for your own creature to cast it again, to get another activation, to get another synergy with other Merfolks. Mana base, I play 22 lands. It is enough because we have low count of mana cost creatures. So 4 Botanical Sanctum for Unclaimed Territory, 1 Scavenger Ground for Graveyard Hate, 3 Hapses Oasis to add some damage to make sure to protect our Merfolk too, something like that, and 5 Forests and 5 Island. For sideboard, I know it's still sketchy because the metagame is still reshaping, but this is my thoughts on sideboard. Probably I'm gonna use 3 Aethersphere Harvester to give some air defense, lifelink, or maybe some air attack. And most of the Merfolk could crew it easily, 3 Neutralize, obviously, for Askanta, Landing, or GPG, so on and so forth. 4 Negates, this is for the playing defense against heavy removal deck. Like nowadays there are controls deck that UB control decks or Grixis control decks, or maybe a Black Rat control decks nowadays. Another Spell Pierce, 2 Nisa, Steward of Elements. This is a very crucial. Nisa, we could scry, we could easily put our Merfolk on the play with the Nisa ability, or you can ultimate Nisa with all the mana we have and then 10 damage flying. It's very good. 1 Bar of Expertise. Some guys might prefer, why don't we use Rebuke? But I think Bar of Expertise is 1 is the mana is 5. It's less than Rebuke, which is 6, and then it could bounce up 3 creatures and or artifacts, targeted creatures and or artifacts. It means that you could remove 2 of your opponents and 1 for you, and then you can cast it again of your creature to get another synergy, or you can use it fully on them and then you get a free 4 mana core or slash spell to follow up. It's just good. And the last one is, I still not sure, but I think we need some tempo card that might gain advantage of us. I'm gonna put in a Cabinetless Words, to gain control or artifact or creatures. I believe, I'm not using the one that Temur, the one that has the energy. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. I'm not using that because we don't play any energy, and then we don't need to get to 5 mana. So oftenly, usually our mana is always spent to cast little more folk, and then we only have so little to spare. So I think that's that. So if you have any comments, suggestion, or questions, please write it at the comment section below. And if you like this, please subscribe and hit that like button. Or if you want to build this, you can build it, and play it online or play it on the paper. And please let me know how it goes, because nothing teach better than experience. So see ya, GTR signing out.